You're welcome. Um, yeah, so first, like, I want to go through the workbook and
Hmm.
just so that I can have some clarity around the things that you've shared in there. Not
Hmm.
through all of it, just specific areas. And
Hmm.
then I would love to just go over if you can guide me on where your team is at, what your feedback was from that, how
Hmm.
you're feeling about that in complete honesty, and kind of just where you're at so we can confine in where we want to be.
Hmm.
And then I was going to go through some awareness on getting to SC with you so that you have, what you need for that, and then you can start
Hmm.
mapping that out.
Hmm.
And then after that, we're going to go through. I know that you asked me if I would share with you some of my daily strategies for success and kind of creating a little bit of a routine around your business and putting
Hmm.
things into practice. So we'll
Hmm.
go through those things and then we'll see where we're at, if that's cool.
Hmm.
Okay,
Sounds good.
amazing. So going back to the workbook, I'm
Hmm.
just going to pull it up here too. Um, I would love for you to share. Um, Mainly, like, you can keep all of your vision and everything to yourself.
Hmm.
What I would love for you to share with me is your when you went to the evaluate section, and we had the in my business I currently feel, um, and like in the different areas of your business. Like, I would love for you to go through and share that with me, if that's cool.
And that's and it was just me being totally honest. And it was
Yeah,
kind of shocking to me because I was like, oh yeah, like I know my business, but I don't.
yeah,
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 I
and
don't. I don't.
yeah, and this is what this coaching is for. It's for getting
Hmm.
real clarity and just being like okay with, like, I'm just finding a pen, but just being like okay with where you're at, and
Hmm.
like giving yourself permission to like be honest with yourself and not like
Hmm.
bullshit yourself anymore. And
Yeah.
then then we work through, okay, like, this is where I'm at, this is real, this is what I
Hmm.
want to be at, and
Hmm.
now I know what I need to improve on. So
Hmm. So
okay.
in terms of product knowledge, I think I'm pretty good. You know, I selected confident.
Okay.
For industry knowledge, I put confused because I'm like,
Okay.
yeah, no, I don't, no, I feel like I'm such a novice and I don't really know anything. Company knowledge, confronted, making new connections. So I'm just gonna list the confused, okay? Because it's a bunch. Making new connections, confused, inviting people to take a look, confused. I think it's because like on the times that I've tried, like I haven't gotten success. So then I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
I must be doing something wrong, or I'm like just throwing too much information, getting too excited. And I'm so happy that you called me out on it because I'm like, I don't want to repel people,
Mhm.
I feel like after that, I'm like, maybe I'm repelling people. Maybe I'm just giving them too
Mhm.
much info and they're not excited about it as much as I am,
Mhm.
because I'm excited about it. It's like,
Mhm.
for me, it's like cool. Like, oh my gosh, like I have a
Mhm.
business and I'm gonna make it grow and I'm gonna help so many people and I'm like so psyched about it. I'm like, why is no one else on my team feeling the way that I am? And I'm like, I want to attract more like people like me, but of course people that are gonna have more success than me too. Like
Yeah.
that's what I want.
Mhm.
So
That's a beautiful reflection. I want to acknowledge you for that, and just noticing,
oh,
like,
thank
okay,
you.
like, maybe I am like extremely excited about this, but maybe this is
Hmm.
not like, although I absolutely want you to and recommend sharing with enthusiasm and energy around why you're passionate and why you love this.
Hmm.
There has to be a certain line of like, okay, oversharing and like not
Hmm.
pushing, but just kind of like, okay, this is I don't need all of this information. I was actually just fine with you telling me the price and me buying it. Like, some people, everyone's at a different stage in what they
Yeah.
need from you. And so
Hmm.
your responsibility is to pull out of them what they need to know, in order to make us a yes. And then
Mhm.
your duty is not to share everything that you're excited about it for, but to share with them what they need to know that will help
Uh-huh.
them get confirmation. And then once they've said yes,
Yeah.
you're more than in terms of the product, you're more than welcome to then like educate them,
Mhm.
but within reason of like if they're not bothered about scientific studies and stuff, then you don't need to share them with them. Like
Mhm.
that's extra information that's unnecessary. If they're not
Mhm.
interested in dot dot dot, then you don't need to share that with them. You just need to give them the information that they need, not necessarily
Mhm.
all of the information that you love and you're excited about.
I feel embarrassed. I'm sorry, I shouldn't touch my brows. I got my brows done because I've been wanting, like, I'll show you. Like, I got
Yeah,
them
they look amazing.
tattooed. Yeah, thank you. But it's like peeling, and so you see like the blotchy
Mm,
dark spots. So I'm not supposed to touch it, but I keep on like that's
got
like
you.
how I express, and I'm like, ah, don't touch my face. Um,
Yeah,
only so I'm taking notes. So
yeah.
don't overshare, don't push. Um,
Well,
share
let's
what
go into that a
they,
little bit more so that you have a little bit
uh-huh.
more clarity around that. So when it comes down to somebody asking you, more information, um, what I love to ask is better questions. So asking them, absolutely, I would love to share my information with you. What is it that, in what area can I share with you? Or what information is it that you're looking for? Or where do you need clarity? And asking them, because then they can say, oh, you know what, I'm just kind of confused on how the product is made, or I'm interested in this because my husband has arthritis and I'm just wondering if this would be beneficial. So then you have more clarity around, okay, like I know that he has arthritis, let me find somebody else who has a story with that, and then I can
Mhm.
send her the research or the story that goes alongside what she needs or they need. So asking better questions. So if somebody's interested, just going back to that, if somebody is asking you for more information, asking a question, um, I'd love to share more information with it. What specifically is it that you're looking to find out? Or what is, if you don't know yet, like I love to say, like, absolutely, I would love to share more information with you. Tell me a little bit more about what your goals are and what you're looking for. And then I can direct you in the right to the right information or to the right products. Um, and that kind of gives some background to for you in
Mhm.
where to share, because what I noticed in sharing with Jenny, I think it
Mhm.
was Jenny,
Mhm.
was
Jenny.
that she she hadn't told you yet what she wanted from the business, or what kind of
Mhm.
effort she wanted to put into it, or how much
Oh.
time she
Mhm.
had to put into it, or
Mhm.
what her goals are or anything. But then you were like, okay, well, here's this and read this and jump on this and create your story, and like here's how to get to Partner Plus, which is totally fine and so normal, by the way. I'm not saying that that's, we literally are all like that at the beginning. um and this is just for me to give you guidance on like how to
Yeah,
obviously get better.
I appreciate
um
it.
yeah, so just what I would have done in that
Mhm.
situation would have been like, oh,
Mhm.
that's amazing, like I'm so excited to hear that you want to join me on this journey. Let's jump on a call and chat more about specifically what it is that you want from this, so that I can guide you and give you the information that you need in order to achieve that. So
Mhm.
then you're not wasting your time going on to Mission Driven Model, finding, all of that information, sending it long
Yeah.
messages, like doing all of that.
Yeah. Mhm.
You're being really calm about it. And that that calmness as well of like, okay, like let me support you in whatever shape or, where that looks like for you, actually attracts them, because no longer do they feel like they have to do a million and one things, or they have
Mhm.
I don't know about you, but sometimes if somebody sends, my upline is very she's very bold and courageous and runs, like I think I was telling you, she runs her business very differently to me, and she will do kind of like she'll be like, oh, you should be on this training, you should do this, oh my god, are you jumping on this call? And I'm like, "Ugh, like you're making me feel you're making me feel like I'm drowning, like I
Not
can't handle
overwhelmed.
all of that, like I just need like one thing, like just give me one thing that I need to do, I'll handle that, and
Mhm,
then once I've completed that, then tell me what's next. But you come like bombarding me with all of this stuff, like you should do this and you should be on this call, have you been on this, like have you done that? I'm like, no, I can't, like I literally just can't. So
mhm,
just like a reflection as well, and it's a really good thing for you to ask yourself too, like,
mhm,
okay, like how do I find that I soak up the most information, or I feel the most calm in my business or organized? Is it that I focus on one thing, or is it that I love to get all of the information and then go through it? It's everyone's to
mhm,
that,
mhm,
each to their own. But
mhm,
I would just say, like, just making sure that you are clear on what they want, and rather than making this about like what you want to share or what you're excited about, making it about what they're excited about and what they want
mhm,
to hear and what they need to know. So just that little switch will help a lot, because you're kind of just answering and giving them what they need,
mhm,
and you're no longer hitting in the dark, which is so good, because like, if you don't know that,
mhm,
like, if you don't know that that person is looking at this product because her husband has arthritis, and you're
mhm,
sending her like the shred 10, and you're sending her like everything about the complete and the children's health, the health study
mhm.
thing, like
Yeah.
then she's going to be like, oh, like I'm not really interested in any of this stuff, like
Mhm,
I was
mhm,
just interested in it for my husband. So
mhm,
you've spent all
mhm,
of your time sending all of this information, and maybe she's received all of this stuff from you, and then it's like overwhelmed by it and
mhm,
doesn't even read any of it, because she's like, oh,
mhm,
that's not what I'm looking for. So
mhm, mhm,
finding out people's needs is one of the best things that you can do in your business. Just asking, like, absolutely, I'd love to give you the information that you need. Tell me more about what it is that you're looking for.
mhm. Thank you. That I yeah.
Yes.
I need to do. I find it because like I'm a talker, and like I like over talk people, and that's what I'm
Mm,
doing via text. Like I'm over talking in text, and I need to stop it.
mm,
You know,
yeah.
I need to like stop overdoing it, like kind of calm. You're right though, because that kind of like high energy kind of like, oh, do this, let's do this, blah blah blah, that can also come across as being like anxious. And I'm also an anxious person, and maybe that's what's
Mm,
coming across. And I
mhm,
don't want that in my business. I want to be approachable, and I want people to be able to, like, my team members to like come to me, or my customers to come to me. Like I actually
yeah.
have a customer, and actually it's my husband is also my downline, and so it was his coworker. And I remember for our last conference they were giving away like like a free like business, right? You can
Mm,
um I guess you can invite one of your customers or whatever to join your business for free. Do you
uh,
remember that? Yeah.
yeah, I feel
uh
like I vaguely do.
And so I was offering it to this customer, and he had gotten really great results. He had testicular cancer, underwent chemo, underwent like surgery to remove the cancer, and but because of the chemo, he had neuropathy, so like numbness and tingling of the fingers and toes, and you know, that's not good, especially for his line of work. Like he's gonna, I mean, we all need our hands, but he's a
Mhm.
police officer. And so, I sent him a little link, anyways, I sent him info. He became a customer, and I would check on him here and there. I offered him the business, but then he was like, no. And then I was like giving him more info, and he's like, no. And now he doesn't respond to me. He's still a customer, but I'm like, okay, I totally messed that up. But he talks to me via Facebook, so I don't know. So I see. So that was one of the lessons. Like, okay, you're doing too much, Tiffany, kind of thing, you know. And I don't
Yeah.
want to repel people. I feel embarrassed now.
No, don't. It's all
Uh,
learning. It's so much learning, and
yeah,
it's
yeah,
beautiful that you are aware of it. Like, if you're
yeah,
not aware of it, then you're just going to continue doing. So your awareness of
yeah,
like, okay, this is restricting me. Now I
yeah,
know that. Now I can make
yeah,
change. So I think that
yeah,
that's actually really beautiful. And
yeah.
I think whenever, because it's going to keep coming up. So whenever you
Mhm,
find that you are, the thing is that like what I notice is that obviously you're excited and you want to build your
mhm.
business. And so when somebody says yes or maybe, you're like, oh my God, let me cling on and give you everything that you could need. Or let me tell you everything and let me make sure that this follows through, right? That's how it
Yeah,
feels.
mhm.
Because I totally get it as well.
True.
That's how I feel sometimes. I'm like, oh my God, this person is going to say yes. Now I'm so excited. The possibilities are endless. Like so much stuff comes up.
Yeah.
And so then what we want to do is we want to do everything in our favor to get that to be a yes. However,
Mhm,
all we can do is provide
mhm.
them with the information that they want and then surrender to whatever the outcome is. And I wanted to talk to you a
Surrender.
little bit about about your team, because I know that you were saying that like you feel like, oh, like I don't really have like anybody like that many people who are like on board or whatever.
Mhm, mhm,
Um, and we were talking a little bit last week about putting your energy into the people who are willing to. Um, and this all comes back to not putting all of your time into. Did last week I go through with you the 3 areas of business?
mm-mm.
Okay, so in the business, just quickly, because then we need to get back to the schedule. In
Mhm.
business, we have 3 areas. This is actually like one of the best tools that you can use for your business. I teach this nearly every day to my team because it's just a reminder. 3 areas of our business. Number one is expansion,
Mhm,
expanding your business, new customers, sharing, inviting, bringing on new team members. This is where all of your business growth comes from. So you're expanding your business, you're bringing in new business, and you're doing all of the things to get new business, like doing the events, sharing on social, reaching out to new people, connecting with new people. That's
mhm,
expansion. And second area is maintenance management. So this is where you're maintaining and managing your business. So any customers that you currently have, checking out on them, checking they're okay. Um, this would be helping your team members. This would be
mhm,
checking your reports, see if any of your customer orders have declined, like your payments have
mhm,
declined.
mhm,
Um, anything in your business that's like more management, like checking where you are at during like going for your promotion, like all management stuff, right? It's basically maintaining and managing what you already have so that you can keep your business where it is. Then the third area of business is growth. So it's you growing yourself. So doing coaching, jumping on team training, educating yourself in these areas that you are confused or confronted by. It's strengthening your beliefs in the product and the industry. It's going to conference. That's your growth. You putting
mhm,
in the work to become a better person so that you can
mhm,
put that into your business. So what happens a lot of the time is that we get really stuck in 1 or 2 areas, and usually the ones where we're most comfortable. So mainly in management, this is where a lot of people get stuck or
mhm,
stay, because it's so much fun and easy for you just to look after your customers that have already said yes, and for you to cling on to those team members who once said yes, or for you to just keep over analyzing, whose orders are coming up and whose customers come out. Let me create some new cute graphic. Um,
mhm,
this is management, and a lot of people get stuck here. And a lot of people
mhm,
also get stuck in growth. Like, let me just go to
mhm,
conference. Let me just read another book. Like, let me wait until I've listened to this podcast, and then I'll be ready. But the main area of our business where we need to be spending the majority of our time is in expansion. And that does not mean that you need to let the other two go, because they're both essential key parts to your business too. but it means that we need to make sure that we are spending 50% at least of our business time in expansion. Um,
Mhm.
I would even say 70% of our business should be in expansion, and the other 30% can be divided between maintenance and mindset
Mhm.
growth.
Mhm.
Um, so it's just something for you to be aware of. Where am I just managing my team, and where am I not
Mhm.
spending more time in expansion? So the reason why I brought this up was because when you are looking at your current team that you have and they're not
Mhm.
that enthusiastic, you're in management of like, let me try and push or encourage or inspire these team members to do something, rather than, which is you staying in management, rather than me directing myself into expansion, focusing on expansion. And actually, by me running my business and helping new people, that's actually where your team will be inspired from. And then you also
Yeah.
had this newfound energy of like, oh, I'm inspired and I'm excited because I have new people in my business who want my attention and
Mhm.
who want to do this with me. And no
Mhm.
longer am I focusing on these people who don't want my attention or are not enthusiastic or are kind of draining the life out of me. I'm
Mhm.
revitalized by this expansion that I've had. So
Mhm.
it's a key awareness for you to just keep having and keep asking yourself, where am I spending my time? Am I in expansion, or am I just in maintenance and growth?
Mhm. Oh, thank you. That's that's really helpful. But yeah, and
Mm,
what was surprising to me of like, and it makes sense to put in 50 to, not 50, 70% of my efforts into expansion because it's tiring when, I'm trying to encourage my team, like, and I feel lost because like I don't get like a text back, or I don't get and I understand they have lives aside from this. And but
mhm,
in my mindset, I'm like, this can really free yourself, and this is an opportunity. It's like, um it's the vessel that could really propel your life and give you that time freedom that you deserve, because
mhm,
that's how I see it. I see it as, because one day I want to, although I love taking care of people, and in the beginning, and just to be truly honest with you, I love nursing, but now that's not the case. I love taking care of people, but the work itself is very draining and very, sometimes the environment can be really toxic. And I'm not about that. I want to care for people in a different way, and I feel like Juice Plus is it, and I could do
mhm.
it. The hardest thing that I think I've ever accomplished in my life was getting my nursing degree. It was a gosh, I had a bachelor's prior to that, so I was able to get into this accelerated program. And to get your BSN, it was like 1 year of like crazy pull out your hair. Oops, my husband's trying to call me. Like crazy pull out your hair type of um, program, and it was like pretty condensed. And I got it done. I would have like 3 o'clock mornings. I was living in Huntington Beach. I'm not sure if are you aware of like California, like
A little bit.
a little bit. So I was like in Orange County in Huntington Beach, and I would have to drive to UCLA, which is like
Okay.
deep in LA. And, I had 3 o'clock mornings, and that was like the toughest, part of my life, I feel. And I'm like, okay, well,
Yeah.
if I can do that, I can do anything.
Yeah. And it
That's the
shows you
tough
that
part.
like when you're committed and you really want something, then you can
Yeah.
make it happen, right?
Yeah,
I
that's
was going to
right.
say something when you were just saying that. Oh, I wanted to maybe just quiz you a little bit on
Uh-huh.
so what I see a lot
Uh-huh.
is when people are spending a lot of time in management and maintenance,
Hmm.
is that they have a lot of resistance and fear of
Hmm.
the expansion. So
Hmm.
I wanted to ask you where you feel most resistance, because I know you were saying that you are a bit confused when it comes to new connections and inviting people to look. But what I would ask yourself to maybe take a deeper look at is,
Mhm.
where's your resistance around
Mhm.
asking people to take a further look? Like, what fear comes up for you? What resistance do you have when that comes up?
Mhm.
Because the reality is that we all know how to share, and it's actually not
Mhm.
that difficult for us to share, and
Mhm.
that's pretty simple. And what to say is
Mhm.
actually least of the problem. Um,
Mhm.
but what's the resistance and the fear that comes up for you when it comes down to sharing more about the product or the business?
Oh, rejection. Rejection.
Mm,
And like, so lately, like I've been trying to reach out to people on Facebook, people, because I haven't been at work. I've been on the medical leave, and so I've been, like gone for like a like month plus. And like I would reach out to some of my coworkers, and so I'm okay with sharing initially, but like the follow-up, I don't get a response. And so I don't know like where am I going wrong. And so I was kind of going because I want to figure out the problem so I can be better at this. And so I won't have
mm,
this fear, and I won't, I'll more like adopt that type of, mentality of what you say, what is it? Thank you next. Like I really want to have that mentality because
mm,
I'm tired of feeling like that, like feeling like,
mhm.
okay, what am I doing wrong? Like what's wrong with me? you know?
Yeah.
So I, like in terms of initially sharing, I think I'm okay with that. I'm not, sometimes I have that fear, type of mindset when it comes to that. But what happens, like I'm more fearful of like when I share when like I'm not getting the response that I want, or they don't even say that they're not interested. I'm like, it would be just easier if they would just say, hey, I'm not interested. And I don't know if I want to go and text them like, hey, if you're not interested, it's cool. Is that okay to say? Like, you
Yeah,
haven't
do
been
you say
responding
that?
to my text? I haven't.
So something that I learned was, you can say to people, "Hey, I don't want to keep nagging you. I know that that's not fun for me. I just would love if you could give me a direct answer of whether you're interested or not. It's completely okay either way, but just to save your time and mine." And
I
literally just
love.
be like that. Like, you're just like, "Hey, like, I hope you're okay. Um, I just wanted to get some clarity around whether you're still interested or not." You can even say, like, "I know that you were interested in the past because dot dot dot." Absolutely no worries if you're not anymore. But just to save your time and mine, would you be able to give me a clear answer? And then I'll be able to stop nagging you or something. Like, you can make it fun.
Mhm. I like that. And
Yeah.
like I was always yes, baby. I'm on a call. Okay, baby. Thank you. It's my 15-year-old. I have a 15-year-old. I feel so old. Oh my gosh. Okay, so interested so I stopped nagging, and then I'll put like a funny emoji or something like that.
Yeah,
Um
and do you know what?
mhm,
People will appreciate you because you're then giving them permission for an out as well. Like, you're literally
yeah.
giving them a permission, like, absolutely no worries. And then you literally are saving your own time and saving theirs, and they'll respect you because you're literally treating your business like a business. And you're not just that sat there being desperate anymore. You're literally being like, okay, like, are you in? Are you out? Like, either way, it's totally fine with me. I just would love some
Mhm,
clarity around that.
mhm.
Okay, so
So
let's just go back
mhm,
to um, I'm going to send you to save some time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a graphic that I have for the little girls on SC so that you can have a little look over that, and it can be like some of your homework is to take a look at what you need for SC, and then
thank you.
I can send you this tracker guide that I have that basically you're going to fill out. And let me just write this down. Um, you're going to fill it out, and basically what it is, it's a graphic, and it has on there each area of your business that you need to track, not like potentials and customers and things like that, but just like how many customers do you have, how many do you need for your promotion, what's the difference, how many points do you have, how many points do you need for your promotion, what's the difference. So then what you have is a really clear outline of what you need for your promotion, and then you'll know what you need to do. And then what you can do, and we can do this together if you want, is map out, okay, I want to hit SD in the next 3 months. What do I need to do in month 1? What do I need to do in month 2? What do I need to do in month 3 to get myself there? And then you have that clarity. So I'll give you the graphic and the tracker for that, and that would probably be the best thing for you to do for homework the next 2 weeks. But let's talk a little bit. Did you have a question there? Or if you're gonna ask me?
Later after we well, later on, when if we have time, I do have a potential customer, and I kind of wanted you to guide me, but we can do
Okay.
that later.
Okay. So I just wanted to go through the daily strategies with you, some strategies that really serve me and have made such a huge shift for me, so that you have that, because I know you were asking that. I think I shared something on my Instagram story and you were like, oh yeah, I want to know more about that. So some of the biggest success strategies for me when it comes down to building my business, the number one is time blocking. So actually scheduling in when you're going to be working on your business. So especially if you have, a bunch of time right now, you need to be scheduling in, because what will happen is otherwise you kind of have this whole day to potentially grow your business, and then you end up procrastinating, or you end up spending 7 hours doing what you could have done in 15 minutes because you've been like scrolling on social media, doing this, doing that, thinking it's productive when it isn't. And you're wasting so much time, and then you end up feeling drained at like, oh my God, I've been spending so much time in my business. Why is it not moving forward? And the reality is that you've been spending so much time like drifting in your business, not actually putting in the effort in the business. So what I love to do is to time block. So I'll literally just take out my calendar each week and schedule in when I'm going to be working on my business. So I'll put in 2 hours or something like that, and I'll block that out, and then I make it a non-negotiable. So I literally, like, if somebody asks me, do you want to meet up for a walk on Tuesday morning at 10, and I've scheduled into work at Tuesday morning on 10, I'm going to say no. Even though you have the flexibility, like I have all the flexibility in the world to just shift that 2 hours to 12 till 2 or whatever and go for the walk. It's about me respecting my business as if it's my job. And it kind of helps me to really, really focus and make sure that I'm utilizing those 2 hours, because I've said no to a friend. So now I'm no longer going to just waft around in that 2 hours. I'm going to be like, I could have been on a walk with my friend, but I'm dedicating my time, so now I'm going to be productive. And what I find then is that you also just like show up better, and you are more scheduled with it. So you are treating it like a business, like I was saying last week or whatever it was, that you're treating it more like a business, and you're not just like showing up and helping for the best and maybe doing 15 minutes and maybe not and whatever. So scheduling in your time, and this will really help you as well once you go back to work, because you're going to be busy and you're going to have, everything else, family life and work life and the holidays and whatever like going on. So it's a lot. And so juggling your time and scheduling is so key. When I first started this business, I had 3 jobs. I literally had,
Wow.
I was living in London and I had 3 jobs in hospitality. And so I would literally go from one job to the next job to the next job. And I would run my business on my lunch break and for 30 minutes when I got home. And it was my non-negotiable of like, okay, this is when I'm doing it. This is literally the only time I have to do it. So if I don't do it here and here, then it's not going to get done. So time blocking. Schedule it in, make it non-negotiable. If you need to tell your family or your husband, like, hey, these are the hours that I'm working, like I would really love if you support me in this by keeping yourselves busy during this time, or whatever you need to do to set boundaries around that. number two is distractions away. So
Mhm.
that's kind of what I was saying. Like, um, if you have, like, right now I'm living back at home in my parents' house, and so I if I'm like sat outside like on the dining room table getting my work done, and then people come home from, like, my parents come home from their job, I'm obviously going to be immediately distracted. So as soon as
Mhm.
that happens, I'll come into my room and make sure I finish my work in my room. And I'll just say to them,
Mhm.
hey, look, like, I still have like an hour's work of work to do. I'm going to go in my room and get this done, and then I'll be available after that. And that
Mhm.
way I'm making sure I'm not distracted, because if I just continue to sit at the dining room table, I'm going to be in and out of conversation with them. That kind of
Mhm.
puts me in a situation to be available for them. So if they want me to do something or whatever, then I'm going to be like feeling like obligated, if that makes sense.
Mhm. Mhm.
Also, distractions away. If you are doing something where you can be off your phone, and I know it's kind of difficult because our business is on our phone, but if you're doing something where you can be off your phone, whether it's like you're writing up captions for social media, or and we can go into more of like the actual do's, actions, and stuff like that in business
Mhm.
um, the following week. But anything, I love to work on my laptop if I can. I don't know if you have one, but like I love to work
I
on
do.
my laptop. And when I'm working on my laptop, I do put my phone on flight mode. And it gives me sense of ease because I'm no longer like picking it up. If I get a message, if it vibrates, I'm not immediately checking it. And
Mhm.
it just helps me to just put it away for a little bit, do my work on my laptop, whatever I need to get done. And then, then later I can go back to my phone and do what I need to do. So putting your distractions away is really helpful. Number three is having clarity around what are you doing. So what do you need to get done today? So I shared on my Instagram that like each night I'll write out what do I need to get done tomorrow.
Mhm.
And then when I come to do this 2 hours or however long I'm working on my business, I know what I need to get done. So then rather than me coming and being like, oh, maybe today I'll like do, and then I'm spending time thinking of things that I'm going to do, which is wasting my time. I have a very clear outline of, okay, this is what I need to get done today. And then I can show up around that and just prioritize those key things. And it's
Mhm.
really easy for you to think of a million things that you can do today for your business. So try not to overwhelm yourself with a million things on your to do list. Just pick like 5 things that you want to get done and then focus on those 5 things. So making sure you have clarity around what you're doing to show up for your business each day.
Mhm.
Um, I've written down have something scheduled. But I think when I wrote that, I'm not sure what that means, but I think when I wrote that I was talking about having your time scheduled. Um, and then one of the other things is just reminding yourself of your vision each day, like before you begin. One of my favorite memories is when I was living in New York City. I would go to this cafe every day to get my work done. It was just the easiest thing. It was like the end of my street. And I every morning I'd go to the gym, I'd get my stuff done, I'd feel really good, I'd pick up my laptop and I'd go to this cafe and I would go there for maybe like 3 hours. But before I began, and this is really, really good, and I don't know if you're into like meditation or anything, but before you begin meditating, a really good thing for you, and this is just going to correlate to business as well. But before you begin meditating, a really good thing for you to do to drop in and center yourself and kind of like put your body in a state of, okay, now I'm going to meditate. It's kind of like you're bringing awareness to your body, is to do some kind of ritual for yourself. So for me, when I meditate, I burn a certain scent and I play a certain song, and that kind of like immediately puts my body into, okay, like I am aware that this when this song and this scent is on, that's me dropping into my meditation. So what I would do for
Mhm.
work would be I would go and I would obviously get my coffee. I don't drink coffee. I would get like matcha, and then I would sit and I would have my matcha. And before I began my work, I would listen to my song, like it's my NMD song. I think I was telling you about that. You have like a song when
Yeah.
you want to. So I listen to my NMD song, and I have a Pinterest board, and it's my inspiration for my business. So it has like things that I want to achieve, like, anything that I have, like, my dream house on there. I have, like, pictures of, like, my dream team vibes, like, quotes on there that inspire me. Like, it's just kind of like a mood board of, like, what I want visually my business to look like and what I want to achieve from my business. And so what I would do is I'd get my drink, I'd put my song on, and I'd begin drinking my drink and just scroll through my Pinterest board for like a whole song. So it would be like 3 minutes, and it would get me into a place of like gratitude and excitement and like vision. And like, this is the impact that I want to create. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm working towards. And then I would begin my work from such a place of like, I'm so excited. Like, I'm doing this for a reason. Like, I know what I'm doing this for. And I'm in
Mhm.
flow and I'm feeling good about it. And that really, really helps me to just like drop in and get centered rather than me coming into my work being like, oh, I have to do this. And this feels iffy and this is awful. And I hate doing this part of my business. And what if this person says no? It sets you into that mindset of like, I don't give a shit because I'm about to achieve all of these things. It's
Oh,
like,
I
I don't
love
care if you say
it.
no to me because this is what I'm going for. And every no takes me closer to a yes, right?
Uh-huh. Yep.
So that like doing something like that, whether it's you have like an actual physical vision board, obviously I didn't because I was at a cafe, or I have like a actual physical vision board, or you burn a certain candle, or you play a certain song, or you do a certain dance routine, or whatever you need to do before you begin your work, just to connect you
Mhm.
to why you're doing it and what you're here to create.
Mhm. I'm just writing
Yeah.
notes. No, but that's so
Yeah, no, you're good.
helpful.
Hmm.
Because it's like it's like, just like thinking about my fears are irrational, and
Hmm.
it's like, why am I set? Why am I so fearful? And, I just, and I, am I in fear of like growth? Like, I want to grow
Hmm.
this. What is the fear? And
Mm.
so, like rejection, I've been rejected before. So it's like, it's something that's in my mind. And you're like what you were saying about like mindset, how it's the utmost important. That's what's going to drive your business. That's what's going to drive you to do whatever you want to accomplish. But I just have like this, like, I need to work through that. But I think having like this ritual that's going to help, and like kind of reminding myself, like, okay, why do I want this? I want
Yeah.
freedom. I like last time I was out of the country was when I was 6. I went to the
Wow.
Philippines when I was 6. I've never been out of the country since. I've never touched the East Coast. Those are things that like I want to do. I've
Wow.
never been to New York. Never been
Oh
to
my
like
God.
any the farthest that I've been to is Chicago for my son's graduation from Navy boot camp. But aside from that, like I I dream of a bigger life than what I have right now, and I don't want to get like stuck in like that's my dream, that freedom. Like, okay, well, I have friends that are older and they're settled in their incomes and stuff, and they're able to travel. I'm like, I can do that too. They're not any special. Like, I
Yeah.
need to just put myself in that position where I can, and,
Mm.
put this business hat, like, put the businesswoman hat on instead of like, oh, having these fears like, oh, I can't do that. They're different from me. No, I just need
Yeah.
guidance, and I just need to like feel bigger about, I guess myself. I don't know. That doesn't really it sounds like it makes sense in my head when I say it, but like I need to, I guess,
No,
feel
it
more
makes sense.
confident in myself. It makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And like,
definitely.
and escape from like that fear mindset.
Mhm.
Like, you're right. Who cares? Who gives a shit if they say no? Like,
Yeah, and you know
fuck.
what? The fear mindset will never disappear. Like, it's not going to go anywhere. I feel like people think
Yeah.
that like, you do all of this work, you get a coach, you work through things, and like you have some success, and then the fear disappears. It's like absolutely not true. Maybe the fear like disintegrates a little bit and disappears a little bit, but it still comes up. But it's your reminder
Mhm.
to yourself when that comes up of
Mhm.
reminding yourself of the truth of like, okay, I'm acknowledging and I'm recognizing that right now I'm afraid of like rejection, or I'm afraid of winning, or I'm afraid of failing in this, or whatever it is that comes up. I'm recognizing that, like, how funny that this is coming up for me again. Like, I'm acknowledging you, I'm choosing to see you, but I'm not choosing for you to stop me in my track. And I'm going to remind
Yeah.
myself maybe of another time when I felt the same way, that I worked through it and I got to the other side of it. And
Mhm.
so you kind of just prove to yourself of like, okay, I've felt this emotion before. I pushed through it anyway, and I got the result that I wanted. And it actually
Mhm.
wasn't that fearful. And then and then you basically beat the fear.
Mhm.
And so just keep
Mhm.
reminding yourself of that. It's going to keep coming up. It doesn't disappear, but it's how you choose to acknowledge and recognize the fear and push through it anyway. Um,
Mhm. Mhm.
it really helps you break past it, kind of controlling you.
Mhm. Mhm. Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
So
so helpful. Thank you.
let's go quickly to your customer before because I have to leave at 1:30.
Oh, okay. So, I have a potential new customer. I actually met her. Okay, so I know I'm on medical leave, but I needed to get out of here. And for my birthday, we went to Yosemite, and I didn't post anything because I'm like, oh,
Fun.
I don't want. Yeah, but I didn't really do anything because I was still recovering. I just wanted. We just kind of drove around. So we stayed at this place called I forgot, Yosemite View Lodge, and there we bumped into a couple, and she and her girlfriend. Her name is Jay. And we just got to talking and, just talking about regular stuff like, hey, are you from here? And she's like, no, I'm from North Carolina. I'm like, oh, what are you doing here? Oh, of course, the same thing that you're doing. You're here to visit Yosemite. And she was there with her girlfriend, and they were just trying to like tour California. And so we got to talking, and Juice Plus comes up, and so I told her, we exchanged information, and she gave me her number, and she actually texted me back. I'm like, oh, she texted me back. That was so exciting. I was so excited,
Yeah.
and hopefully I didn't bombard her with text messages, but she still communicates with me. So now she's not interested in the capsule. She's interested in the tower garden, and I don't have a tower garden. So then I feel like I need to get a tower garden eventually so I can talk about it, because I don't feel like, how am I selling it if I don't have it? You know what I mean? Because I can't really explain anything, or if they have questions, I
Hmm.
would have to connect her to my upline, which I did. So I connected her to Tom, who's my upline, and also we're friends on Facebook and Instagram now, which is cool because I've never had that. Like I've never had like someone that I like, like cold, not cold turkey. What is it? Cold,
Yeah, like, yeah.
um,
Just
yeah,
a new person, yeah.
yeah, new person, and like have this kind of like things kind of like, I guess, flow. But so she
Hmm.
says that she would eventually want to buy the tower garden, but I know that I should ask her what are her barriers, or I don't know how to go come across to her to maybe help her make that decision to
Hmm.
I
So
don't
when was
know
the
how
last
to
time that
do.
you spoke to her?
Maybe a few days ago, just to say hi, like
Okay.
because she didn't respond to one of my text messages, and then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna say hi instead of ask her like, hey, did you watch this? I'm like, I'm just gonna say hi and I'm gonna chill because Danielle,
And when
yeah, I,
did
I I was thinking about what we talked about.
yeah, and when did you have the conversation about the tower garden?
Tara got in. Can I look back at my text messages real quick?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. Okay, today is Tuesday, so we talked about it on Saturday.
Okay. Okay, cool. And that was when she told you that she couldn't afford it right now, or what did she say?
She said she didn't give me a reason. She was like, "Hey, we're all good. I don't have any questions. I'm definitely buying the tower. It's just a matter of time of when, LOL." And
Okay,
then
so
she's
what
like,
I would
mhm,
do is if
mhm.
so did she reply back to you the other day when you asked how she was?
Yeah, she did.
Okay, so what I would say is I would message her and say,
Mhm,
oh, I'm just helping somebody else get order their tower garden. Um, I'm just helping somebody else get their Tower Garden order in or something like that, and um, I know that you're keen to get yours, but you said it's just a matter of what it's just a what is it? It's just a matter of when.
When. It's
Um,
just a matter of when.
okay, so I would just say, hey, I was just helping somebody else get their Tower Garden. I was just helping somebody I was just placing an order for somebody else with their Tower Garden.
Mhm.
I know I'm excited for when you get yours, but I know it's just a matter of when. Um, did you have like a timeline in mind of when you wish to get it by, or did you do you have an idea of um mm, do you matter of when do you could you could say like is like do you have an idea of what is it's just a matter of when did
Mhm.
you could say like is it just like money that's like the resistance.
Mhm. And then how about if she says that it is?
Then does she know about the payment plan?
She does.
She does. Okay, so
And
then what
she
I would just say is like um I would just say like, oh, I totally understand, especially with the holidays.
Mhm.
Maybe it'd be an awesome thing for you to begin in the new year. Um as obvious maybe it'd be an awesome thing for you to begin in the new year, and don't forget like you can use the payment plan. It's only
Mhm.
$50 a month or
Mhm.
whatever it equates to.
Mhm. Um, do you ever like I see other, people in their business and then they'll I remember seeing this one lady who I don't know personally, but I was just interested in like how she ran her business and she would give like gifts or something like that. Like how do you feel about that? Gifts or like an incentive to buy or like a bag of gummies or whatever like she um like I don't know, here and there she'll do that. Like how do you feel about that? Cuz I was like I don't know. I mean, I could try that, but I don't know. Like, what were your thoughts about that?
I don't feel like it's essential. I feel like people get customers without you having to give away free things. I think that getting customers all comes down to a mindset and the way that you perceive yourself of like how worthy the product is for the price and kind of like your
Mhm.
belief around that as well. Because when somebody really wants something, they'll be willing to pay whatever it is for them to make it happen. So I don't think that that's ever really an
Mhm.
issue when it comes down to giving gifts. Like I give gifts away sometimes to like clients if they've been on the product with me for like a year, or like if they've been if they've been really active in our customer group, like I'll give them a gift, but I'm not like enticing people in with gifts, unless the only time that I've ever done that is if my team are going, or if I am going for a promotion and I have like 3 days left and I need like 20 orders or something. Let's just say that was like my last promotion. Let's say I have a team member who needs like 3 orders or something for their promotion,
Mhm.
and they have like a few people lined up who said that they want to order but they haven't yet. Then they could offer an incentive of like, hey, look, like anybody who orders by the end of the month, like I am offering a free shaker with any shake order, or like I am offering a dot 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 for any order
Mhm.
if you put in your order by the end of the month. That is the only time that
Mhm.
I would do it. Otherwise, you're constantly going to have to be giving a gift away with an order, which you don't want
Yeah.
to be doing, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to
Yeah, I don't
set
wanna do
yourself
that.
up to be doing that. But it does work.
Yeah.
Like that's the only time that
Uh-huh.
I've ever done it, and have found that that sometimes does entice people to place their order faster, which
Mhm.
obviously
Mhm.
helps. But other than that, I don't think that it's essential or duplicatable either. One thing that you want to
Okay.
always be thinking about in your business is like, is what I'm doing duplicatable to my team? Like, are they going
Mhm.
to have the funds to be able to be giving gifts away with every order that they put through?
Yeah.
Or so you've always
Got
got to
it.
think about that. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, so I have to rush, but let's just wrap up with saying I'll send you the SC graphic and the tracker thing.
Thank
And
you.
what I would love to challenge you with over the next 2 weeks
Mhm.
is
Mhm.
I think that what would be really cool for you to do is like I would love to challenge you to get 10 new people, can like connect with 10 new people. So
Okay.
so
I'm like,
pushing
wait. So
pushing yourself
to cut.
outside of your comfort zone, yeah.
Okay, no, I'll take it. I'll take it. So to connect with 10 new people,
So let
connect.
me clarify around this. So
Uh-huh.
this is not you
Okay.
sending a message out to 10 new people. This is you like, let's say you go to a coffee shop. I mean, I don't know what the
Mhm.
restrictions are like that. I think California's on lockdown, but like
Yeah,
if
we're
you
locked down.
if you
Darn it.
like if you meet somebody, or what else is good is you can go on Instagram and connect with 10 new people, and the connection is
Oh,
only complete if you have had what's it called? Like if they've messaged you back.
okay.
What's that called?
Um, how do I don't even like connecting with strangers on Instagram if they like I would probably approach them if they liked my picture, if it's a Juice Plus type of like, hey, I noticed
No,
that.
no,
Like,
no,
how do
no,
I
no,
no
no, no.
no
So what you're gonna
sorry.
do,
Okay.
no, you're good.
Okay.
You're gonna find people who you're interested in. So like you can search up a topic that you're interested. Let's say you're really into yoga. You search like yoga. You find somebody else who is into yoga. You then
Uh-huh.
are going to connect with that person. So you're going to drop them a message and say something like, "Hey Susie, I just came across your account. I see that you're really into yoga. I love all of your pictures. Like, how long have you been practicing for?" Absolutely nothing to do
Oh,
with Juice Plus. You're just making a connection. You're just
oh,
building a
it's
new
just
connection.
connection.
Yeah.
Oh, yay. Okay, so thank you for the direction because I was like, I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like
And
I'm such a novice. Like I don't know. Okay. So
no, and you know
yo
what?
I'm
It's
yoga.
all good. You literally cannot get this wrong. Like you can't get it wrong. If they don't reply to you, it's totally fine. Your practice and your homework is for you to show up in your mess and just practice. Like it's you just
Practice.
giving it a go. Like what does it matter if they don't reply or not? Because you wouldn't have got a message from them anyway. And then it's not like they're
Yeah.
gonna destroy your profile or anything. So just it's your practice to get more comfortable with reaching out to new people and putting yourself out there. So just try on
I
and try
love
different
this.
ways of you reaching out to people. Try different people in different areas. Like
Mm.
just try and practice, see what works, see what
And
conversation
and I don't
sparks or
talk
anything.
and I don't talk G's plus. It's just practice. Just building
Just making a
relationships,
friend.
building okay, making a friend. Okay. Okay. This is fun. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Oh, Danielle, could you send me the Zoom too, please? So
Yes, yes. So
I'm gonna go back and you see all of like these notes and stuff. I'm gonna rewrite them
okay,
and
love
look
it.
over them and
Amazing.
study. Oh, thank you
Yeah.
so much, Danielle. I appreciate you.
Okay. Have a good one.
Okay. Okay, you
Bye.
too.
Have a
Take
good
care.
Christmas too.
Bye. Oh, you too. Yeah, you too. Merry Christmas.
Bye.